Okay, we're back for about 10 minutes in this segment. We will circle back to one or two of those things, but I want you to think about this. Obviously, when you make a lunge, you are often parried, right? Nobody scores every time on an attack. If you are parried, you can certainly recover and parry their riposte. I may attack and be parried. I come back and protect myself. Makes perfect sense. There are times when you may want to stay in the lunge, either because you feel that your opponent's getting close enough you can take advantage of it, or if you've simply extended yourself so far and you have nothing else you can do, it's too late to recover, you simply stay there. So we're going to practice that. It's going to involve a lunge, and then you stay in the lunge and you come back to parry 4. You protect most of your chest, which is the place where most riposte come, though some can come over here. And then you make what's called a counter riposte. I want to emphasize the word counter in this usage doesn't mean circle, like a counter parry. That's a different term. Counter in this usage means answering riposte. My opponent has parried me. Here comes her blade. I am parrying her. And in answer to her riposte, I'm making my own riposte. Mine is an answer. It's a counter riposte. So the phrasing is attack is parried, the riposte is parried, the counter riposte is good. Very important to distinguish when words have different meanings depending on context. So with parries, counter means circle, and a lot of coaches call it circle parries. But with riposte, counter riposte means answering. I parried her riposte and I'm hitting her. Okay, so watch me a few times. Here I go. Lunge, I stay in the lunge, I come to 4. I make a counter riposte. Notice my form. I come back to 4 and then I recover. And then I get back on guard in 6. So lunge, staying in the lunge, parry 4, counter riposte, back to 4, bend legs, and recover nice and low. Once more. Lunge, stay in the lunge, parry 4, counter riposte, come back to 4, bend your legs, recover, and relax. All right, face your target. You're going to lunge and you're going to pretend to be parried. Even if you hit the target, which is fine, you'll pretend you were parried. You will come back to 4 as I did, make your counter riposte in the lunge. So once you've lunged, you stay there until you've made the counter riposte. So ready? Lunge, stay in the lunge, parry 4, make a counter riposte, come back to 4, and recover. Lunge, stay in the lunge, parry 4, cover your chest, counter riposte to the high line, back to 4, recover, and retreat. Lunge, stay there, parry 4, make counter riposte, come back to 4, and your legs recover, and retreat. Go. Lunge, stay in the lunge, parry 4, counter riposte, 4, recover, and retreat. 3 more. Lunge, stay in the lunge, 4, riposte, 4, recover. 2 more. Lunge, stay in the lunge, 4, riposte, 4, recover. Last one. Lunge, stay there, parry 4, counter riposte, come back to 4, bend your legs, recover, and relax. Very useful to be able to do that because you never know when you're going to get stuck in that position. All right, let's spiral back. I've now preached to you many times how you have to spiral back to stuff. Even in one lesson, you revisit it, you leave it, you revisit it, you leave it. Like your favorite ant. So, parry position, 6, show me. 4, 7, 8, do it this way, 6, 8, 4, 7, tierce or 3, that's 6 turn, cant or 5, prime, look at your watch, point your elbow, second or 2, think about hitting 2 mosquitoes off your leg. All right, and now let's review also the 4 counter 4. You're on guard, parry 4, make a circle, counter 4, and riposte. Back on guard, 4, counter 4, and riposte. Back on guard, straight parry across your chest, make a circle, counterclockwise if you're right-handed, clockwise if you're left-handed, riposte. 3 more, 4, counter 4, and back on guard, 4, counter 4, back on guard, 4, counter 4, back on guard. Let's go back to advanced lunges. Remember, it's an acceleration. Slow, fast, recover, retreat. Slow, fast, recover, retreat. Slow, fast, recover and retreat. Slow, fast, recover and retreat. Face your target. Ready? Go. Slow, fast, recover, retreat. 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 All right. I'm going to pick up the camera and show you something facing the target. Here's my friend, the dummy target. So again, we have a quadrant. High, if he's right-handed, high outside, low outside, high inside, low inside. Okay, so you can hit anywhere, of course, but let's try. The most common thing we practice is, of course, this high inside line. I'm assuming he's right-handed, high outside line rather. And we do that and we raise our hands. But of course, there are other places. So practice this, get a little closer, just extension distance, and practice hitting on the inside where he'd have to parry forward to catch you. Notice my hand is very well turned in this one. It's not even at 1 o'clock, it's more like at 3, my thumb's more like at 3 o'clock to get the correct angle of the body. If you turn your hand, look what happens to the point. It goes off, right? So turn your hand well so your thumb's about the 3 o'clock position. And try for this quadrant right here. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe you want the low inside quadrant. Same thing, your hand has to be turned this way. And you just have to have your point lower and your hand is somewhat lower, sort of about hip level. And you thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or let's say you want the low outside line. Here you turn your hand prone. Otherwise, if you turn your hand supine, see where the point goes? So if I've got a right-handed opponent and I want to hit him there, I will turn my hand over and make a thrust. It's hard to see perhaps the angle of my hand. It's about 135 degrees, if that makes sense to you, if you understand that kind of thing, depending on what grade you're in. So I'm here, as I move forward, I'm turning my hand and thrusting in the flank. And actually, your hand should be lower than the point in this one. The high line, your hand is high, your point is lower a little bit. The low line, your hand is low, your point is high a little bit. Otherwise, you'll go off target. So bend your hand, turn it, and thrust at the flank. 1. Notice where my hand goes. 2, goes a little to the left. 3, 4, 5. Let's go back to low inside. 1. Hand is supine this time. Hands up, or palm up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the high inside. Same thing. Palm is up, supine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's go to the low inside. 1, 2, 3. Again, your hand is prone, palm down. 4, and 5. Again, the reason for this is this. If I'm facing my opponent, hitting him here, supine is great. If I turn my hand, see where my point goes, right? Same thing here. If I'm supposed to be prone here and I turn my hand supine, I go off target. Very important to know that. All right, we'll do 2 last sets of 30 seconds of alternating each. I will put my camera back in its normal spot. So get on guard. You're going to alternate between advanced lunges and balestras. Do as many as you can in 30 seconds. So get on guard, face your target. 2 sets of 30 seconds and we're done. On guard. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Balestras, advanced lunges. Recover fully each time. Balestra lunge, recover fully. And advanced lunge, recover fully. Keep going. Recover fully each time and do the next one. See how many you can get. Halfway done. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How many did you do? And again, the number's important, but it's not as important as doing them correctly, of course. If you're simply doing it to get a number and you're not doing it right, you may as well forget it. So this is just a sort of puts a frame on it, makes it more fun. Last set, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alternating Leskas and advanced lunges. Keep going. Focus on your target. Remember to bend your legs, come back to a full on guard position. Keep going. We're halfway. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, you can stop. This segment is concluded. The final segment is about 5 or 6 minutes about a very interesting old-fashioned book about fencing from the 18th century, and I hope you'll enjoy that. Have a good week.